Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as one of the world's top 10 thought leaders in organizational culture and leadership. And welcome to the Nights of Transformation. Today we have some very, very special guests. We have Dante and Alessandro. Say hello.
Hi!
Okay, and today we are going to be talking about, why I poured gasoline on my kids and what you, or well, basically leaders can learn from this. Okay, so you're thinking, oh my gosh, he poured gasoline on his kids. Okay, so let's get to the story. First of all, there was the kids' bunk beds that they decided that they needed to paint. And of course, when they're going to be painting their bunk beds, what they're doing, of course, is using oil-based paint. Now, of course, it turns out that, I took a break from helping the kids to paint their bed, and during this break, the kids decided to have a paint fight. Okay, now if you've ever had a situation where, if we've ever had a situation where we are on camera right now, we're on camera, and you got to look at the camera right over there. See, that's the people that are looking at us right over there, So we had a paint fight, and when on this paint fight, well, as you can see, Dante and Alessandro got very, very well covered with brown paint. Now, I don't know if you know anything about paint, but this is oil-based paint. And the only way to get rid of oil-based paint, especially when you're doing it with brushes, is with lacquer thinner. Now, I don't know if you've ever had to take paint off of your entire body before. Most of us probably haven't, unless, we won't go there. But the thing is that bathing with paint thinner is extremely painful. It burns. I mean, especially under your arms and all this stuff. And so...
and it irritates your skin.
Well, yes, it does irritate your skin. So, of course, the first thing that we hear is Alessandro screaming to the top of his lungs, I'm not going to paint my bed ever again! And so anyway, what ends up happening is that we find out that they're trying to basically bathe themselves with paint thinner, which is extremely painful. So paint thinner is bad. So what was the solution? Gasoline. Well, gasoline is not as irritating as paint thinner. I mean, I wouldn't recommend bathing in gasoline, but in the case of actually solving the problem where they had paint literally all over their bodies and even in their hair, gasoline was the better solution. It was not fun, and it smelled bad, but it was certainly better than paint thinner. So, what does all this mean, and what does this mean about leadership and, organizational culture? Well, let me give you a scenario. Let's say that essentially you have a great group of people. Let's say they're a great team. And, your great team is basically doing their work, and they're not really facing any major immediate problems that are big problems that they have to have. So what happens? Well, oftentimes complacency. And if you maintain complacency, it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. And to get back out of complacency after people have already been complacent, well, it's a lot. It's kind of like after you've already put on an extra 150 pounds and you want to lose it, it's a lot easier to just lose it when you've put on that extra 4 pounds, and then just kind of keep it off. So it's the same kind of thing. So what we want to do is we want to basically look at complacency as the paint fight. So people are complacent, and all is good with complacency until, of course, you need to clean it up. And hey, where's the camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? The camera's over there. Okay. All right. And there we go. So, as we are continuing with the Nights of Transformation, let's look at the idea that if we create a situation where we are creating pain for our people, and the pain is really bad. So, I mean, it's like, for example, if you've got people that are complacent and you start to create some major pain, oh my gosh, we're going to have to let people go, or oh my gosh, we're going to have to restructure the whole thing, or there's going to be all these things, or we're going to introduce more bureaucracy, and you create all this kind of stuff. Okay, so suddenly people start to feel the pain. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, okay, there's real pain here. It's just like bathing in thinner, right? Because now, the people are starting to feel like, okay, this whole thing is just turning out worse, and it's no fun to work here anymore. But when you come back and you say, hey, look, let's try something different, okay? And you come up with the gasoline, okay, which is not pleasant, but it's still an easier initiative to accept, okay, to overcome the complacency, where people say maybe now, hey, now instead we give them a certain level of autonomy, and you start working with the people themselves to create their own way of overcoming the complacency, okay? Instead of all this top-down stuff that causes lots of pain, suddenly you give them the opportunity, hey, you know what? Instead of us trying to fix it for you, you do it. And you know what? The results are usually much, much better. Why? Because now you literally have created the pain. And so anything less than that pain to achieve a higher goal or a very specific objective, clean up the complacency, is something that people will gladly accept and be motivated to do, even though it wasn't that great when you had the gasoline. So that essentially is the lesson for basically pouring gasoline on your kids in order to clean up the paint, and what that means to cleaning up complacency in your organization. You had something to say, Dante.
I have two things to say.
Really?
So I have a question about what you just said.
A question, okay.
So why you say instead you clean it up for them, they have to clean it up themselves?
Well, because in this particular case, let's say if I went ahead and I said, okay, Dante, you cannot, play games and talk to your friends, and you're not able to do anything except do homework and lots and lots and lots of homework, unless, you do your story.
Oh, no.
Okay, but then, so then it's like, I'm going to make you, instead, if you don't want to do your homework, it's okay, don't worry. You're going to do all this other work and all this homework, and so which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the story, or do you want to do all of the extra homework and not see your friends and anything like that? Which one would be better?
Story.
The story would be more fun, and you would gladly do that, wouldn't you, Dante?
No, and I learned a lesson.
Really? What kind of a lesson did you learn?
To never, ever paint yourself.
Okay, that's a good lesson. How about you, Alessandro? What lesson did you learn?
I had a lesson that I'll never, ever, ever paint myself with oil-based paint.
Okay, not oil-based paints. Other paints are okay, but not oil-based paints. Excellent idea. All right, good job, guys.
Especially how you get rid of them.
All right. Well, with that, this is Arthur Carmazzi and Dante Carmazzi and
Alessandro Carmazzi.
wishing you great success.